All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of our award-winning podcast, Getting the Herd. I'm Dixie Lewis. I'm the medication and drug screening coordinator here at the McShin Foundation. Who are you?
I'm Chelsea. I'm an AmeriCorps representative here at McShin.
And I'm Jennifer. I'm a participant.
Oh, welcome.
And my roommate.
There you go.
I know, right?
So y'all are roommates?
Yes.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And have been since you came in
October.
the intensive house in October.
Yes, I kind of follow you right along.
Yes, you have.
So y'all were talking before. You're about to come up on 7 months?
Come up on 8 months.
Oh, okay. I see you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well, I figured today we would talk a little bit about like our experiences since being in recovery and just like our journey and the process of it. Chelsea, you've been with us for a while. Yeah. How's that been going?
I mean, it's been going great. I was given the opportunity to come to McShin straight from jail last July. So I'm coming up on 9 months of being in housing here at McShin. And Monday I'll have 18 months clean. It's the longest I've had clean my whole life.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm
Thank
really
you.
proud of you. That's amazing. And you said you came in November.
October.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I lived in housing for quite a while too.
Yeah.
I loved it. Me and one of my friends went to dinner last night, and we were roommates when we lived in Smith House back when that was a women's house. And we were talking about how sometimes we miss the recovery lifestyle, like living in a recovery house. I didn't like it. She's like, absolutely not. I didn't like it when I lived in it, but then once I moved out, it's like the connectiveness of living with the women in the housing. You know what I'm saying? Like you were never alone, which sometimes got annoying.
Oh, yeah.
But like you always had people when you needed them.
Yeah.
And it's like building relationships again.
I'm looking at Chelsea just because we're never alone. No.
So we have two roommates. So it's me, Jennifer, and our friend Tanya. We are codependent as all get out on each other.
Pretty much.
When they're not home, I'm like, when are you guys going to be home? Like, I'm tired of sitting here by myself.
Right.
So I've actually picked up extra shifts at my other job for the 2 nights that they're not there during the week.
Yeah.
So that I'm not sitting at home by myself.
Yeah. I was like that. I had codependency issues with the girl I went to dinner with. If you saw me, you saw her. If you saw her, you saw me.
Yeah.
And, eventually we got split up for reasons, that are not good ones. And I was like, it hit me. I took it really personal, you know? I take it personal when people leave. So I was like, oh man, like my little buddy, and I did that a lot in recovery. Whoever I was roommates with, we like stuck together constantly. Like I would get them jobs with me. It was pretty codependent.
Yeah, I can't deny that. No, I think our whole house is like that, though. I mean, we have a pretty strong crew in there, and it's just like we all get along. We're always holding ourselves accountable, each other accountable.
That's good.
We just have a really good connection there, and it's just, it's a good vibe. It's just
And most of us came through Chesterfield together.
Yeah, actually, we're kind of Miss P's kids.
Yeah.
Definitely
I'm
Miss
one of
P's
those,
kids.
yes. I'm definitely one of Miss P's youngins. She was my house leader when Delrose was the intensive house, and I would live there. She was my house leader.
Yeah.
I was
I adore her.
first participant to come into intensive when they switched to Chesterfield. So I was the first one to go through Chesterfield 100%. Everybody else that was there already, of course, came from Delrose and then moved to Chesterfield. And, there was a lot of bite back from it because they're like, oh, this sucks. It's just us out here. And having come from jail, it was more comfortable for me because it was just women. Because every time I get out of jail, I have issues being around men. I feel uncomfortable. Like it's just constant anxiety. So to come out and be in a most predominantly female situation actually helped me adjust to being in society again. Yeah. And, the first 2 weeks coming up here on Wednesdays were a little stressful for me, but I got used to it pretty quick. And now being up here every day, being a staff member and being surrounded by mostly men every day, it's a total reversal of where I have been the past couple of years, but getting to be comfortable around men again, is really huge for me because if you're loud, if you yell a lot, I tend to shut down. But that's because of past traumas. But having, being here and readjusting that way has helped me a lot, because I have other women that are strong in their recovery and have more time than I do, that I can talk to, and kind of give me, they're like, well, just remember to remove yourself when it gets to be too much. And
it was interesting for me. I've talked about this before, where I didn't have relationships with women. I started using when I was really, really young. So it's like my story has a lot to do with jail. So I would always end up in jail, and you know how that goes. Living with all those women, it's completely different. So I was a little bit stressed moving into a recovery house with so many women, and I didn't know how to take it. But then after staying around for a little bit, like, you form relationships with them, and that, like, I learned how to build those friendships again with another human being and a woman. Like, that was amazing for me. And I don't know, it was really different. It was a little stressful. I didn't know how to handle it at first, but I feel like that was a big part of my recovery at first, was just like the network of women that I have, and bonding with those women and building those relationships, because I didn't know how. And everything kind of just fell into place with that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
But did you feel you had a little bit of a trust issue?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I know when I came in, it was like first time in recovery, first time in RCO, coming right out of jail, just always hanging around with guys, didn't know how to handle a woman.
Yeah,
like,
same.
It's like, don't trust you, don't like you, don't know you.
If I don't know you, I'm not speaking to you.
That was
how I was.
Yeah, and just the resting face of who you and why you talking to me.
Yeah. So Jennifer's face tells on her every time.
Yeah,
she might not say what she's thinking, but her face tells you.
Yeah, I have no poker face.
I'm the same way.
At home, it's like, everybody does come to me for advice. I guess I'm the mom of the house.
You are.
But it's like, I have to look at them, excuse me, I don't mean to be an asshole, but if you're going to ask me your opinion, you want my opinion, I'm going to give it to you. And I'm kind of working on, because I'm kind of brash. It's just like, I try to keep it as real as possible. And I know we're at a stage that most of us women can handle it, but I know Chesterfield and Delrose, I kind of walked a fine line there, because I know I hurt feelings, but it wasn't on purpose. It's to save your life. It's like, I'm here trying to get well. I'm trying to get well. And if you're not on this bandwagon, step aside, get out of my way, because I'm tired. Yeah. I want a new way of life. I want a new direction. And
and that's when they say, like, stick with the herd, like stick with the winners. I had to learn that. I had to learn, I when I first came in, for like my first 6 months, like I said, I would get really attached to the women that I lived with. And everybody that I got attached to would go back out. And like I said, I would take it personally.
It breaks your heart, doesn't it?
And my sponsor, she was like, why don't you, hang out with some people that you don't live with, and some black key taggers or whatever. And I started doing that, and that helped me a little bit too.
Wait, we're allowed to hang out with people we don't live with?
Yeah. Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
We don't do that.
We don't do that. But luckily we've had good groups, and we haven't really experienced any of our friends, like our real friends, going out.
Y'all have a solid group of women in that house. A lot of y'all have been here from day one.
I think, let's see, all but like one person we've all lived together from somewhere between August and October through present day. So we've known each other, and we have a lot of good time in there. Most of our times, started out in jail, but I think the least amount of time in our house is 9 months. And the most is 2.5 years. So it's like, we have a lot of good time in our house. And it's really nice, because we can bounce ideas off of each other, but we don't co-sign the BS.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely not.
Your roommate said, Tanya said, Jennifer, you give me the absolute best advice. Thank you so much for everything you do to help me. And then she said, Chelsea, you are so strong and caring, and I'm happy to have you both as my roommates, my two best mates.
Me too, best mates.
This is the best.
She loves it.
Yeah.
So you have somebody here with you today.
I do. My mom's here with me.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
It's actually the first time I've seen my mom in about 5 years.
Really?
In person, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She didn't really want to mess with me when I was getting high all the
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
I mean, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I mean,
my family didn't want to either.
I'm kind of crazy right now. She just saw me when I was high. No, it's nice. It's as a woman, as a mom too. It's just like my mom's here. It's Chelsea can tell you my relationship with my kid is amazing now, and it's like,
and I've seen that grow.
yeah, because she saw it when Devin took the stage and just.
How old's your kid?
He's gonna be 20 this year.
Oh,
So my active addiction when he was older, I don't want to say it's a luxury, but he wasn't young. He didn't get to figure it about it. So I'm working on it now. You get to see me recover,
Yeah.
when we get older. And God, the first month I was in recovery, it's like I had to let him take the stage and get all that anger out. And
he did.
Oh, yeah. And everybody heard it and I was okay with it. But he also made me realize I learned to own it. You know, I'm not blaming anybody. What role did I play? Why am I doing this? What are my ulterior motives for this? And that was a big step for me to say, yeah, I did it. It's my fault. And I got to fix this.
Yeah.
So, and now it's really nice. One thing I can say with women and especially with their kids, be consistent. Every day I talk to my kid, every day, same time, same place. It's no muss. It's,
oh yeah.
I will stop work if he calls me, I don't care what I'm doing. My son is on a phone. I'm going to answer. And he might just be like, Mom, you want a pair of shoes?
yeah.
Yeah,
He's our shoe connect.
Yes.
He works at Rack Room.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I need to be plugged in.
Yeah, he's the manager there. So, like, my mom says I'm not allowed to buy any more shoes. But today, Devin just told me, Mom, there's these tie-dye Vans. Do you want them? I'm like, of course.
Of course.
So, Miss Margaret, I know you're watching this.
So, yeah, that's awesome. Like, you're rebuilding the relationships since being, and like, I feel like that's something that a lot of people have done. Like, I know all three of us have.
Yeah.
I've rebuilt the relationship with my mom and my dad. My dad's a retired police officer and retired vet. So you can imagine how that went.
My brother's a cop. That was real fun having that conversation.
But I've like slowly built that relationship back, and now like I'm allowed to be in their house alone. And I've got back, like I was using before I had my kid, and then after. So my son's only 5, but like I've built that relationship back with him.
Yeah,
like
great.
He is the best. He calls me all the time. So I have custody back of him, but he's in school down at my mom's house.
Okay.
So and I didn't want to pull him from school to change schools. So I only have him Thursday through Sunday. But he calls me every day, or I call him every day.
Aww.
And he'll literally just FaceTime me and be watching videos at the same time. So I'm literally just looking at like from here up, because he's looking at the phone. But like I appreciate those times,
Oh yeah. My mom's had custody. I kind of exited out of my oldest life when he was like 6. It was the worst part of my addiction, I want to say, and most definitely it was. And he got used to the jail phone calls and da-da-da-da-da. So when I got out this last time, I called him. I was like, hey, I got to call you right back. And I did. And he answers. He's like, wait, this isn't a jail call? I'm like, no, I'm out of jail. He's like, Mommy, that's so awesome. Don't go back. And he's 11 and he's lost his father to our disease, back in 2017. So luckily my parents and his dad's parents have always been there for him. And he has strong male figures in his life, strong female figures, but I do owe him every day almost. Except for when he's too busy. Mommy, I'm watching YouTube.
Yeah, that's what he'll call me, but he'll just be watching YouTube.
Yes.
But like Nathan said, building relationships are like a great part of recovery. Like that has been my main focus, is like rebuild. I just wanted to be a mom again, but I knew I could not be. When I first, came around, people were like, you got to put yourself first in your recovery first. Otherwise you're not going to be able to be a mom. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
And then after then I was like, yeah, you're right. Because if I don't put my recovery first, then I lose everything. So it's like my first year, I focused on myself. I did a lot of like soul searching and just trying to like figure who I am out. Because I wanted to, if I couldn't figure that out, then I couldn't be a mom.
Oh, yeah.
So then my second year was really like me just like rebuilding those relationships and being active in my son's life and like going to court and fighting them.
Yeah.
Not my mom who had custody of them, but like the courts. I was fighting like social services. They were involved, and I never thought I would get them out of my life. So I had to fight them, and I got custody back of my kid. And I just think I'm really grateful for that. It's been like really hard, and I feel like, at first we want instant gratification. We want everything to happen overnight. And that's how it was. Like, what do you mean I can't have my kid by myself? I have 30 days clean, And so it took me a while. It was a process, but now it's like he wants to come live with me full time. He's not excited about changing schools, but he wants to come live with me full time. And now I'm giving my mom the opportunity to be a grandma.
Yeah.
And it's like a slow process, but it's happening, and I'm really excited. So I think it's great that you have your mom here.
Yeah.
Like, that is amazing. That makes my heart so happy because you haven't seen her in so long.
No, I haven't seen her in person. I think probably.
You saw her at court.
Yeah, but
I forgot, but that wasn't for very long. It was just a couple of days.
No, and it's just, I really think it's funny. I think the last time my mom saw me, I think it was the year after my husband died, and I wasn't in the best of places, and she just she didn't like cut me off like, oh, I don't love you, you're a horrible person, I'm not going to talk to you. It's just she distanced herself, and I hated that because like.
Yeah, that emotional distancing.
Yeah.
My mom has done it too. And she's still holding me at arm's length, and I don't blame her because I've talked a good game for so long.
So long, yeah.
Oh, they've heard the story over and over again from us.
Yep.
My dad's always been there for me, but I'm trying with my mother and like my little sister, and she's my ultimate best friend, and she's like, just give mom time. I'm like, I don't tell her anything anymore. I'll just show her. Because,
the show me, don't tell me is the biggest part. I think it's words are words, but, actions speak louder.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I remember my mom, like, I would go to jail and I'd be like, if you bomb me out, I promise. And she would never bomb me out, of course.
Yeah,
but, like,
no.
Then when I would come home, she'd be like, remember when you would call me and you would say you were going to do X, Y, and Z? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, so I'm not sure. So when I first came here, I didn't really like my first 30 days, especially like I would call them and check in, but I didn't want to call them, to be honest with you.
No, because
when I first came to McShin, like I didn't want to call them for the first 30 days because it's the same story. Like they were probably expecting me to do the same old thing. So I was just like, and it was kind of awkward, what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I was like, I'm just going to give them time and I'm just going to do my thing here. And then like, it just, I don't know, our relationship, my mom's my best friend, like absolutely my best friend, but it took her a long time. My mom is one of those, she'll kind of like give you the cold shoulder, you know what I'm saying? Or like she'll talk to me, but like it's real condescending at the same time.
Yeah.
So I had and me and my mom are very similar. So I had to like distance myself for a while, and she did the same with me because like we butt heads constantly. So rebuilding that relationship was a little bit tricky, but we got there. So I'm really happy that your mom's here.
Yeah.
All right. So Tanya said you saw her on the day of court. She's not co-signing that. and then you can read it.
Johnson Sadie, women recovery is great to see. It's definitely an amazing feeling because the fact that we can stick together and build each other up now instead of tearing each other apart is amazing.
Go ahead.
No, I just was noticing too, being in recovery and actually acting recovered, you'll get a lot of people that don't understand recovery following you. Example, I'm at work. This lady comes up to me at work where she's like, "You're in recovery?" I'm like, "Yeah." But I don't tell that to people. I just show them. And here she is texting me, "Do you have AA meetings? I would like to go. Would you like to go with me?" It's happened to me a couple times. It's like, I don't tell anybody I'm in recovery. I just do what I'm supposed to do. I'm fighting to save my own life, and it's women, and it's just like it's kind of a hard pill for me to swallow because I'm not used to it.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I am used to it. It's like introducing myself to women and having faith in other women and trust.
Yeah,
and trust in them that they have their best interest at heart for me. that took a lot. I mean, yeah, and I am kind of codependent and kind of closed, and it's like these people are safe, not for sure, but out there.
Mhm.
But
Right.
it's just it's progression, and I take it day by day, and it's amazing that I spent 20 years not having women friends, and it's just like I need them more than I need anybody else in my life.
It's like, is this what I was really missing all these years?
It's like late night pillow talks. I mean,
Jesus.
No, really though.
yeah,
Or waking up and finding your roommate not in their bed, and it's just like, it's bedtime.
Yeah.
like,
where are you?
I'm outside.
On the phone. Didn't want
And
to wake you.
We get really excited, like I said, because we're not used to that.
Yeah.
So like when you start to have that, it's like a whole new world kind of, I don't know. I love it.
I it's amazing, but it's
I'm
like I
getting in
never
trouble over here. Not having my mic close enough. So rebuilding family relationships. Okay, so I can't read that far. Johnson, Sadie, Chelsea, will you read?
Court is a hard process, and often you feel it's a no-win battle. How do you not emotionally distance? It's hard to trust, but you three are great. Oh, we're great examples.
Aw, thank you.
My family won't believe you, but we try.
Oh, if my mother wasn't here, she wouldn't believe it.
And then Sadie also said, Sadie also said, walk it, not talk it. And, it's where you're kind of quiet about your recovery. I'm the exact opposite.
No,
Yeah, me
I'm very quiet about my recovery, but it's pretty much written on my face. It's like I don't really have to voice it. It's like
because you have that look that I'm not going to put up with your drunk BS. Like,
yeah, I'm not. And it's just like, people's like, oh, you want to go out for a beer? No, I don't drink. I'm not going to drink.
Mhm.
I know it leads to the end of that glass. And
Mhm.
I'm kind of okay with myself right now. And you look like an idiot.
So
Yeah.
Mary Sykes Erdman. I hope I said that right.
Can
Erdman.
you guys give a shout out to the Sharp?
To the Sharp and Wear programs at the Pitt County Detention Center in Greensville, North Carolina. These ladies, the men love the McShin program.
Aw.
Well, hi
hey.
out there in Greenville.
Hey.
Aw.
And it actually means a lot that our podcast is taken out into the jails and into the prisons now.
I think it's so important. I feel like I
Yes.
talk about this every week, but like I cannot express how happy it makes me that this podcast
reaches
reaches people in jails.
Yeah.
That it amazes me. Like I absolutely love it because like I said, I think I said this last week, like it's hard. Like for me, before I came here, I didn't know what recovery was. And
Yeah.
my story is all jail. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I didn't know anything about it. So like the fact that these podcasts are going into
Oh yeah.
jails and they can see like what the possibility is for them when they get out, like they can have an alternative rather than what they're used to doing. It shows like a different way to go and that it is possible.
Yeah. Well, it's like my guy best friend is actually currently in jail, and he keeps up with us via the podcast, and he gets to see us and see how we're doing, and it means a lot. And he's just like, I saw you on the podcast. I'm like, bro, don't watch. It's like, don't talk about me on the podcast.
But I think it's great he watches you on the podcast.
I know, I love him. That like he's all of our best friends,
Pretty
really,
much,
at the house. Since he's been in jail, we all kind of hate about it.
Mhm.
But we've all come together, and like every time he calls, we're all on the phone.
Yeah.
But and he treats us all like his sisters because
As we are.
as the empaths that we are, as the emotional people that we are, we've been there for him to help pick him up. He's like, I couldn't have gotten this from male friends. But still, women stick with women, men stick with men.
Yeah. I have one of my friends, he was actually weekend staff, and when he stopped working here and he became friends, he was friends with like the people that I was friends with, so and he became one of my really close friends. Like he always showed up for me. Of course, I always had the women too, but like he was my one male friend that I
that's
still
how he
have.
is for us.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
And then we kind of adopted Ian.
Yeah, one of her coworkers.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he's in recovery too, and he's younger, and it's just like
We want to take care of these young people.
young people. It's just like
awakening of connectiveness of women's synergy is fantastic, and women of color are part of the podcast. Are women of color part of the, you
Yeah.
know,
I feel like, yeah.
we ask people to come on the podcast, and you know, it's a personal decision on whether or not they want to come on.
Mhm.
We'd love for more people to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. You would contact Mr. Nathan Mitchell.
Nathan Mitchell. I'm
If-
sure he's in the comments here somewhere.
Yes, he is right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do try to get diversity on the podcast as much as possible. Unfortunately, you know, you can ask everyone. It's just a matter of people saying yes.
Who wants to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Nathan Mitchell. So yeah, definitely email him, get in contact if you're willing to come on. That would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Love to have you.
Mhm.
So you're about to go to court.
I just finished with court.
You did?
Yeah, well, I got sentencing August 20th.
Okay.
So it didn't turn out as bad as I thought it was.
Okay, great. That makes. I remember
Yeah.
when you came here
Oh god.
and you were a hot
Crying.
mess.
Oh, I don't even think a hot
with
mess
good
was.
reason.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know. So that makes my. I mean, I'm happy. I'm so happy for you. Oh my god. Okay.
No, it just in the beginning when I got here, it was just I kind of got told by my first attorney something. I kind of walked into court, and that's not what happened. It was I'm going to be honest. They're like, no, we're not going to drop these charges, and you might get a felony murder for this. And I'm like, whoa, skirt.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And it was pretty devastating. It was like, I'm trying to get my life together, and then it's just I'm compiling more stuff on this plate that I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, I had to take a step back, breathe. Probably one of my worst days of I just wanted to tuck and run and go back out and never return. But I was glad I didn't. But that was probably the hardest day, and having to come home and tell you guys, and then come into the office and tell Jill, because
Yeah.
it was just like I need a minute because I can't even process this right
Everything
now.
that's
It's
going
like
on, yeah.
because it's not that it's not true, but it's like that's not how it went down. And but I have to take ownership of this. If I wasn't getting high and doing stupid things, this wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I just made a decision that day that, you know, I really wanted this to work. You know, I've tried to fight the system thinking I'm smarter and better.
Yeah, right.
We're not.
We all
No,
have.
we're not.
So it's just, you know, and actually I was just telling my mom, it's like I love my relationship with my pretrial service lady.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much nicer following the rules and doing the right thing. So
Mhm.
when I pick up
you.
when I pick up the phone and call her, she's not ugly with me. I can make jokes with her. I'm like, Miss Bryant, I'm having a relationship with your voicemail. I'm not feeling, you know,
I'm not feeling
I'm
this
not
today.
not feeling this
feeling it.
today. And
She's
you
coming
know,
back.
and she's cute. She's like, oh honey, I'm not trying to avoid your call. And she's so sweet. And it's just like, hello,
Mm-hmm.
hello.
Yeah.
And it's just no. So it's just like, so when I went to court in the beginning, I know, you know, the prosecutor was like gunning for me.
Yeah.
And now it was just fact based. There was no below the belt. And when I
Mhm.
walked out, she's like, Miss Kuzmik, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing. So that alone, I mean, maybe it's silly to other people, but that made me feel better. It's like, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. What happens in August is going to happen.
Everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's. I feel like this is just me. Like I personally, every time I would go to court, I've gotten lucky since I've been clean.
Mhm.
3 court cases that I went to court for. It definitely went in my favor, and I'm happy for that. But every time I went in, I was like, okay, I'm going in clean.
Yes.
Mhm.
And everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Like this was supposed to happen. This is going to be what happens. I have no control over it. All I can do is like control how my reaction is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You know, and every time I went to court, I went in like, oh my God, I'm screwed. I'm getting yelled
that
at
was
again.
me. It's like I'm going to jail. I'm telling my mom, like, okay, if they take me, they're gonna put me in the bullpen. I need you to make sure I put money on my books.
Right.
And it's just like, but that's what you got to do. You know,
Mhm.
expect the worst, hope for the best, and just
Yeah.
keep doing the right thing.
I was when I went to court, when I came to McShin, I was going to court for my second possession charge.
Mhm.
And I was so nervous. I was on probation for my first possession charge,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and I was not doing well on pretrial. my pretrial officer was like, she gave me a chance, which I'm forever grateful for.
Yeah.
And then so when I went to court for my first possession charge, I had like I'm gonna joke. I had like 5 or 6 months clean, and they were like, hey, if you can pee in this cup and it be clean, it's gonna work out in your favor. And I was like, okay. I get so excited about drug tests now.
Oh,
yeah,
too.
definitely.
I love taking them. So I was like, I can do that. And I did, and so I didn't get nearly as much time as what I thought I was going to get. Most of it I had already done before I got out on bond, so I was really grateful for that. And then I knew there was a violation coming because I brought back the same charge.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. And you know what I did different that time?
What'd you do?
Let me tell you. Instead of like waiting for them to come pick me up and running, they have a website for Chesterfield County where you can check active warrants, and every day I would check to see if my warrant had went through yet. And then on my birthday, it did. Oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, it looks like I'm turning myself in on my birthday. So I went to a meeting and I went to get dinner. And then I went to Chesterfield County Jail and turned myself in. And they let me out on a VR bond. And I was like, would you just look at it? That is crazy. And then actually was like, happy birthday. And I was like, well, thanks. And then I went to court, and they gave me the same time they gave me for my first violation, and I was able to do it on weekends.
Oh, that's great.
And so everything worked out, and I'm like grateful for that. I feel like if you do the next right thing for the next right reason, things will work out in your favor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and I feel
definitely.
like that's happening for you.
Yeah.
So
I think so. I mean, I got a long way to go, but it's, I can lay my head down on my pillow at night. No, I'm trying to. I might not be perfect at it, but I'm trying to.
You're
do
trying.
the right,
Yeah. And I feel like you're doing a good job.
you did an amazing job.
Yeah. I know it's hard to take compliments sometimes.
It is. Rub it in.
Yeah, rub it in.
Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah.
So you were talking about your pretrial officer and how your relationship is with her. What kind of relationship did you have with your probation officer or pretrial?
Oh my God. Well, I wasn't on it that long. I got my second possession charge in November of 2018, and I came here February 1st of 2019, so it didn't last that long.
Okay.
I did well at first. It was kind of like, hey, how you doing? But I was on color code in Chesterfield County, so I never really saw her in particular.
Right.
I met her like once or twice.
Okay.
But when I called her, I had finagled some stuff and went in for a drug test, and it did not come up how it was supposed to. So they called me back, and she was like, hey, you have to come back for another one tomorrow. And that night I overdosed.
Oh.
And again, and my family did some crazy intervention on me. It was like, you're going to this place. It's called the McShin Foundation. And I was like, no, I'm not. And after a little talk with my sister, I decided to go. I'd never been anywhere before. I just always went to jail. So doing something like this gave me anxiety.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know what I was walking into, and I just knew it was just a lot. So I was like, okay. And so I packed my stuff that night and was coming up here the next morning, and me and my dad were about to get in the truck to come up here. And the pretrial officer called me. She was like, where are you at? You were supposed to be here this morning. And I was like, oh, well, actually, I'm going to get help. I'm not doing okay. And she was like, I don't care what you have going on. You need to come up here. And so I went to my dad, and I was like, well, I'm going to jail. And in the meantime of me talking to him about it, she called me back. She was like, what's going on with you? Tell me, be honest. And I told her everything. And she was like, do not come up here and fail this drug test. Go get help. And then when I came here, she kind of excused me from pretrial until I went to court. So that works. But I was also on felony probation. I'm in the process of getting off of it right now. I'm waiting for the letter to come in my mail.
Yeah, it's not.
I have a Ring camera, so every time the mailman comes to my house, I live very close by.
Looking at it.
I live really close by, so as soon as I get the notification that he's dropping off a mail, I'll be like, be right back, and I'll run to my house and check my mail to see if the probation letter has came yet.
Yeah. Well, it's I use my probation. I'm on felony probation for another 3.5 years, but I've been lucky with my POs. I've been transferred from one district to another, being from Northern Virginia. But, I've gotten lucky in the fact that I can actually use my probation officers as a part of my support network.
Oh, absolutely.
It's great being able to go, well, you have to come in and pee tomorrow. I'm like, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be
I'm
there.
like, I love it. Okay.
How early can I come?
Can I be now?
Yeah,
Like,
I'll
come
I
now.
gotta go.
I'll come to 9 tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
fine. I get so excited when I have to take drug tests. Like I used to dread them, and now I'm like, absolutely.
Well, it's like when I come in to do them for you, I'm like, hey Dixie, I gotta go. You ready?
Yeah.
I can get the cup.
Yep. I don't know. It's crazy how everything's changed.
Yeah.
You know?
Go from, oh my God, I gotta pee to, yay, okay, you need me to
Yeah.
pee right now? Like right now? I can go on demand.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We can stop and go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good process. I love it.
Yes.
It says consequences are not exempt being in recovery. The court is still read.
The court is still punitive. They're making progress.
I couldn't say that big word. I got nervous.
They are the consequences for, especially for us that are in active addiction and keep having the same problems, they are trying to change the laws, and it's great that they are. And they're trying to work with probation and change the probation rules for technicals, for UAs.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to really realize that, okay, this is a disease. It is a reoccurring thing that we have to deal with our whole lives, and it takes understanding from the courts and from probation officers to help us succeed and not fail and have to go back to jail.
Right.
And honestly, yeah, absolutely. And I think, she's right. We definitely, consequences are not exempt. I've never not had a consequence, regardless if it was through the court system or personal, anything like that. I've always had consequences due to my actions during active addiction. But they're making it a little like the jail programs.
Yes.
Like the recovery things that they do in the jail is amazing. Like I was in HARP for a very, very short amount of time, but I was in HARP for a little while. And like, that was when I first got introduced to recovery.
Right.
And so when I came home, like I said, it was a very short time. So when I came home, when I came here, I kind of knew what they were talking about,
Right.
but not really. And they were bringing women in the jails. This is, of course, before COVID. They were bringing women in the jails and speaking and holding groups. And it was just like really, so you kind of get introduced to it. So they're changing in that way too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. But I think it's great that they're finally acknowledging that jail isn't always the solution.
And it's not.
Jail never changed me when I was in there. When I came to the McShin, the RCO, that's when like I finally was like, okay, because I saw other people doing it.
Well, yeah, the light bulb goes off in your head, and you're with someone that's been down that road and understands. You're not
showed us the way.
It's not clinical like a doctor trying to diagnose you.
And that's what I love about McShin.
Is that it's not
people call
clinical.
Me, so like, okay, so today is Wednesday. So Monday, where I'm from is a very tiny town. It's like this big. It's nothing but farmland and water. Okay. And, where I'm from, they don't, like I've said this before, they don't offer any kind of
services or anything.
It's like you go to jail. That is it. There's no recovery groups or anything in jail either. Like that's why I never knew anything about it. And, we celebrate my friend that I have been friends with since I was 14. We lost touch when we got older and we graduated. And, she celebrated a year.
Oh, that's
in
awesome.
recovery. And I did not know that she was even close to, she's like in Amelia, and I had no idea. And my other friend that came here from where I'm from that's in recovery now, she's actually living in McShin. She ran into our meeting and told me, and I was just thinking, and then we took another one of my friends that has been living in Richmond for a year that's from where I'm from that is also in recovery. So I'm like, we were talking on the way. We were like, 1, we cannot believe we're going to her celebration. 2, we cannot believe all of us are here together, clean,
right,
in recovery.
Oh yeah,
in Richmond, going to a meeting like to celebrate what? Yeah, it was just like I don't know. I don't know. It was amazing, and like the things come full circle.
Oh, they definitely do, and thinking back to where I started this journey. And I'm the same way. I wouldn't have found like real recovery if it wasn't for a CSB program in my jail. We called it the drug dorm up there. But that's how I met my mentor. And that's how I found out about McShin. She was like, she saw me like going down here. I had 16 months when I had a reoccurrence back in 2019, you know, but she saw it happening. And she's like, girl, I really want you to go to McShin. And I'm like, why? I can't go to Richmond. What is it about
this place?
Yeah, what is it about this place? She's like, it has more structure. You need more structure. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm an adult. I have a job. I was living in sober living up there. But yes, the structure has helped me a lot. Having such a tight-knit community down here has helped me a lot too, because where I'm from, it's a big area. We're not like this, like we are down here. I can walk into any meeting between Chesterfield County and here in the city and know at least 2 people, and I've never been able to do that before. But had I not gotten the suggestion to come down here when I got out, and I set it up my first 2 weeks that I was in jail, because of course I only made it a week until, I was so high. I kind of told on myself, here's the drugs.
Yeah.
So
you can have them.
Yeah. I was like, there's more in my hotel room here. Let's just go back down the street, because it was bad. But I met my lawyer, and she's just like, wow, it treated me like a huge POS, which I'm not going to deny. I kind of was. But I was like, look, I don't want a bond hearing. Just leave me in jail. And she looked at me like, okay. I was like, and I want you to call McShin Foundation and tell them that this person sent me, and get it set up to where I can get out and go there when I'm done with my time here. She's like, are you sure you don't want to go out on bond? I'm like, no, why? Why am I going to go out on bond, try to go to Richmond of all places, to get clean? I had people down here. But I've learned to deal with a lot of the people that I knew down here before are now in recovery. So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so I start running into these people I used to get high with, and I'm like,
yeah,
I got you. All right, cool. So if you can stay clean in Richmond, I definitely can stay clean. And I love it down here. I don't plan on moving back home. But it was that one simple suggestion on our way to lunch one day that has decided everything in my life since November 2019.
Yeah.
And I love it here. I couldn't ask for better roommates. I couldn't ask for a better family. Basically of my choosing.
That's one thing that I like. So when I moved here, I didn't know anything about here at all.
Right.
I didn't know anybody. I just didn't know anything. I came here completely blind. And it's great because since then, like, I've got to pick my family.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to
you get to hand pick it.
Yeah, I got to pick and choose and make my own family, and that in itself has been a blessing. It's I don't know. My gratitude for it is like unbelievable. Like the fact that I can call a number of people about anything.
Yeah,
is mind blowing.
It is.
I never thought, like, do y'all honestly? Let's just think for a second. Did you ever think we'd be here?
No,
absolutely not.
No.
And comfortable
and living and thriving and being badass women.
No.
I mean, I knew I was a badass, but not
in a good way
perspective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
I didn't feel like I was a badass at all.
Oh, I did. I thought I was like the shit.
Yeah, I think
I was shit.
And then I look back and I'm like, why didn't nobody throw me a ham sandwich or offer to feed me?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I have pictures on my phone that one of my best friends from high school sent me a few months ago. He's just like, I don't think I ever showed you these pictures, but so somebody saw you when you were living in Woodbridge, and it's not a good look. Mm-hmm. I weighed probably 110 pounds, and he sends me these pictures right before my 1-year anniversary last year, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I was nothing but bone.
But you thought you looked good, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, yeah. But I look 10 years older than I actually am.
I think you and I had that conversation.
Yes, we did. Because I did look so much older in those pictures.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't a
I
good look.
look like a 12-year-old no matter what. But
a little bit.
I do. People think, I mean, me and Jill will go.
I've heard this story.
Me and Joe went to the tanning bed, and there was a lady in front of, like, in between me and her in line, and the lady, I was the cashier or whatever, was like, "Who's next?" And I'm pointing to the lady who was in front of me, and she pointed to me. She's like, "Well, your mom, you're here with your mom." And I was like, "That is not my mom." And then I had to go to the hospital, and they thought Amber was my mom, and I was like, "Y'all don't look old, I promise. It's because I look like I'm literally 12 years old. Like, it looks like you need to sign my paperwork for me."
I mean, I give it at least 16.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. I'm pushing 30 over here, okay? All right, so Johnson Sadie said, "I'm an essay counselor and women advocate. Just know and believe in women. In women can recover. Chesterfield and Richmond POs are open. The HEART program is great, and recovery is a process." Absolutely. I feel like it's a forever process.
And it really is, because like every day we have to wake up and deal with the same stuff, you know, and it's just a matter of how we handle ourselves and our reactions to things that keep us clean, I think, along with having a pretty solid program.
Absolutely. And we're learning how to go through and handle good things and bad things, tragedies that happen without the use of drugs. I feel like that's been a huge part of my story, is just like trying to like handle situations and not use behind it.
Oh yeah. Don't get your feelings all in a bunch and run. And I like it just running it past by people, you know, especially the women in my house.
You wanna know what I do? I have my roommates take me to Krispy Kreme and get donuts.
Well, yeah, she will eat her feelings, but we love her just the way. But no, it's just nice to go, am I being logical, or am I still being crazy? Or, you know, just, it's nice to
both.
Yeah, or do I need to put the cuckoo back in the clock? Or, you know, that sort of, but it's nice to go, hey, I'm running this by you because this is what I'm thinking in my head. Is this
what's actually happening?
Or is this my disease talking?
Right. I have that conversation with my mom a lot. I'm like, well, this is not how it seems to you, but this is how it seems to me. And it's like, you got to find that actual reality spot.
All right. Stacey said, "Ladies, I can only imagine how your family is feeling. I have a son with this disease, and it's heartbreaking. Can you continue to put the work in and be proud of yourself?"
Thanks, Stacey.
Thank you, Stacey.
All right, guys. It's about that time. Woo! That went quick, right?
That did go quick.
All right. I'm going to be honest with you. Joyce isn't here with me, you guys, and I was a little nervous.
You did good.
She normally does all the talking.
You did a really good job.
Okay, great.
You did.
Okay. Because I was like sweating and everything. I dropped a few F-bombs before we went on air, freaking out over here. So
since like 10 o'clock this morning.
Dixie, Nathan told me you're a natural, so.
Oh, God. Thanks. I can't take compliments too. I get nervous.
Rub it in.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the day. We will see y'all next week. And bye.
Bye.
Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving it away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.